Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be on how I pack my orders. Now I think over the past few months, I think some of you have actually gotten in touch with me asking me how I pack and ship my orders. So today's video is going to give you a very detailed explanation on how I do it. Now one thing though, I would like to explain a few things before I actually get to the video. These are typically for retail orders. I pack my wholesale orders in a very different manner. I generally don't provide any of the things that I actually provide for a retail order. For example, like a card. I also stitch, like my own little portly for retail orders. But I don't do that for wholesale. My wholesale orders. What I typically do for a wholesale is each of the individual terracotta sets are wrapped in bubble wrap individually, each of them. That really keeps them secure even for international, even for like overseas shipping. So, and what I also tend to do is the insides of the carton box is basically lined with thermocol. So that just keeps them extremely secure. So I have thermocol on all the four sides, the base as well as the top. That really keeps them very, very secure. And so yeah, I think so. I'm going to be focusing more on the retail aspect. This is basically the idea of shipping out. If you have to say pack one particular necklace or a chain, how I would typically do it, and that's what I'm going to show you in today's video. And I'm sure each of you would have your own methods and own ways of doing it. So please do let me know in the comment section as to how you pack and ship your orders. I'd really like to know that. So let's actually get to the video. Now, I am no expert when it comes to stitching. In fact, my mom taught me how to make this potly, and that's the only thing that I can actually stitch. So this is something that I also found to be pretty handy and quite colorful and very, very got a very Indian feel to it. So this is, I think, something that they use mostly for fancy borders and laces. I think this company makes that. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's got it comes in different colors. It's got this beautiful. So this is what I use for something like this in black and gold is what I use for the dory. So you see something like this works well even to tie your long pieces of jewelry like how I did for this particular one. And by the way, the potly cloth that I'm using is I think if you go to a textile store, you usually tend to have excess cloth, unused pieces, like under a meter typically, and they just keep it away because you can't use that for anything. So they just give it off for people who want to stitch with it, or they want to create some sort of a patchwork with it, or whatever it is that they want to do. So they just keep it away. And most of these places tend to sell this in like bundles of like 15, 20 pieces or whatever. So I actually picked up like I think two, or I think when I went, I think I picked up like one bundle, and then after that when my mom went, she sent me another one. So yeah, I think I have quite a few such different colors of pieces, and I really like them because you're able to if a single person basically buys like multiple pieces from me, what I also try and do is I don't give them the same potly. I try and give different patterns or different colors just to make it a little bit more colorful. The other thing that I think would be really nice for you to, a nice way for you to store your earrings are probably something like these. These are these cards, these earring cards, and they're quite nice. They've got a good length, so even if you have like jhumkas or something, they would work really well. So it's like it's about this much. So I think it's a decent size, and it's just a good way to even store your earrings when you make and keep them as well. This is a good way to just hook it in, put it in like a small cloth or a bubble, and not a bubble, what is that? Ziploc. So put it in Ziplocs and store it away so your pieces are kept careful. So this is also something I can probably share a link for this as well. I usually tend to order, I mean, we all tend to order a couple of things online. So we end up getting, cartons, and inside that we have our products usually. Whatever we order usually comes very securely packed with bubble wrap or thermocol peanuts, or what do you say, one of those air pockets or whatever that's called. So I tend to store most of these so that I can reuse for situations like this. So that's what I tend to do. I know it's an incredible amount of plastic. I am trying to see if I can find out, probably settle on a more eco-friendly way of packing. And when I get to something like that, I'll definitely make another video. But for today, I'll be working with some bubble wrap and thermocol peanuts. So for smaller pieces, this is what I prefer using. Maybe earrings or maybe smaller to medium sets. This is what jewelry sets. I think this is what I do. It's pretty easy. You saw how I made this quite easy, and this is a pretty sturdy box. I got this from India. I'll try to see if I can link this in the description box. I think I definitely know. I think I have the link to this, so I'll share that with you. Pretty easy, quite easy to make. Now, what I tend to do is, you saw how I packed that long set. In the same way, the smaller sets or the earring is basically packed and put it inside. I probably put some paper, crushed paper on the sides just so that the product doesn't move. I close it, I seal it well, and then I put this into a bubble envelope, a bubble mailer or a bubble envelope, which is basically bubble wrap inside the envelope. It just provides that much more security to the entire piece, and just that's also a very good way. The package is usually pretty light. I mean, this jewelry is actually very light when you're shipping it. So this is also quite a sturdy box. I've never had any complaints with this as well, so I think this is also quite a nice way to go. Very neat. It's a very neat packaging. This one quite neat, you see, quite easy to make, and they're delivered flat, so it doesn't take up too much space, so you have to kind of do the make the boxes on your own, but it's quite easy. It's you can just get your whole family to do it for you if you're like, if you have to make too many of those. So yeah.